Daily Heavenly Manna, October 25th. The chosen text from 2 Chronicles 19 chapter verses 11. Deal encourageously, and the Lord shall be good. Explanation: whoever has a duty to perform, let him not fear, and while seeking to do unpleasant tasks in a kindly manner, both justly and lovingly, let us fear not man, but rather fear the Lord and be intent on pleasing Him. Let the world fight its fight. The Lord will supervise, and the result will be glorious eventually. Let us who belong to the new nation, to the new kingdom that is not of this world, use no carnal weapons, but the sword of the Spirit. Let us fight the good fight of faith, lay hold upon the glorious things set before us, and not only stand ourselves, but help all those begotten of the same Spirit and members of the same heavenly army, corps and stand, complete in Him who is the head of the body, the captain of our salvation. Reprint number 3395 3393. Amen.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're looking at something a bit different, a devotional text, Daily Heavenly Manna, for October 25th. But it reads less like pure devotion and more like, well, almost a strategic plan for conduct.
That's absolutely right. It's like a management manual for handling booty, especially under pressure. Our mission here isn't really theological debate. It's to unpack the strategy this text lays out.
Okay.
Specifically, how it defines courage and gives guidelines for tackling, those unpleasant tasks or conflicts we all face.
And it anchors this whole idea in a quote, right,
Yeah.
from 2 Chronicles.
Yes, exactly. 2 Chronicles 19.11, deal courageously and the Lord shall be with the good. That's the bedrock premise we're exploring. What does this text mean by deal courageously?
Right. So first step in this strategic plan, it seems, is about internal focus. It says whoever has a duty must not fear man, instead fear the Lord.
Mm-hmm. That's a fundamental shift in, your reporting structure, isn't it? Your accountability flips entirely.
Yeah. So if you're facing something difficult, maybe a tough conversation or task,
Yeah.
the primary audience isn't the other person. It's internal. It's upward.
Precisely. Establishes the absolute priority. But what's really interesting, I think, is that it doesn't then say, okay, now you can be harsh because you're right. No, it explicitly demands that even those unpleasant tasks must be done kindly, justly, and lovingly. That's the required method of execution.
Okay, hold on. That seems challenging. If the duty itself is unpleasant, maybe confronting someone, pointing out an error, how do you execute that kindly while still being just about the issue? Isn't there a conflict there?
But that's the core of the courage it's describing. It's not about avoiding the tension, it's about managing it. The text seems to push for what you might call strategic decoupling.
Decoupling.
Yeah, decoupling your ethical duty, the how, kindly, justly, from the potential negative reaction or the unpleasantness of the what. You do it because it's right, according to that higher accountability, not based on whether it feels good or makes others happy right then.
Okay, so internal commitment sorted, manner of action defined. What about external conflicts? The inevitable pushback or just the noise of the world?
Right. And here the text makes a really sharp distinction. It talks about the two fights. It basically says, let the world fight its fight. Implying a separation. There's the world with its political battles, its social conflicts, its personal dramas. And then there are the followers. They belong, it says, to a new nation, a new kingdom that is not of this world.
So it's like choosing a different battlefield altogether, or different rules of engagement.
Exactly. Different rules. It's very explicit. Followers must use no carnal weapons.
Okay, carnal weapons. In this context, dealing with conduct and maybe disagreements, what does that mean? We're not talking swords and shields here.
No. Carnal weapons here seem to mean the world's standard toolkit for conflict, Aggression, manipulation, maybe compromising your principles just to win, or hitting back with the same kind of attack you received.
So mirroring the world's tactics is out.
Completely out, according to this text. The only approved weapon is the sword of the Spirit.
What means?
Your faith, your conviction, the truth as you understand it from your spiritual framework. You use that to fight what it calls the good fight of faith. Success isn't defined by worldly wins, but by maintaining your integrity, your spiritual standing.
That could sound quite individualistic, focusing just on your own spiritual state. But the text doesn't stop there, does it?
Not at all. It immediately broadens the scope. This isn't just about you standing firm alone. It's a collective thing.
Ah, right. It says the goal isn't just to stand ourselves.
Precisely. The duty includes actively helping all those begotten of the same spirit, the other members of this sort of heavenly army corps, to also stand, to be complete in their leader, their captain head.
So your personal courage and how you handle your duty actually props up the whole group. It's about collective resilience.
Yeah, organizational integrity, you could say. Your successful ethical execution reinforces everyone else.
Okay, so wrapping this up, the core strategy from this old text is pretty demanding. Courage defined by inner accountability to God, not fear of man. Executing all duties, even tough ones, kindly and justly. Refusing worldly fight tactics and using only spiritual weapons. And doing all this has a collective benefit.
It's a radical approach, really. Don't engage on the world's terms. And the text ties this to a final promise, a kind of long-term perspective. It says, essentially, let the world have its fights. The Lord is supervising, and the end results will be glorious eventually.
Eventually.
Eventually. Which brings us to the final thought for you, the listener. How does that promise, that assurance of eventual glory, impact your strategy now? Does knowing the ultimate outcome is supposedly guaranteed make it easier, or maybe even harder, to stick rigidly to these non-carnal weapons, this radical kindness, when you're in the thick of conflict today? That's the question this text leaves you with.